So what does it mean to be stuck? You hear this term sometimes, but it's not often well defined. But if you say, oh, this golfer, oh, he's stuck on the way down, and that's why he's blocking it and hooking it. Maybe you are stuck. Maybe you even know exactly what it is, but you can't seem to get out of it. Well, let me offer a few ideas right after this. It's going to help you get unstuck pretty quickly, too. You can just understand some key concepts on why it really happens. Stay tuned. Hey, this is Steve from HitItLonger.com. Hit subscribe and follow me for more videos like this. All right, we're going to look at a couple videos here of golfers who may look just like you or maybe worse than you, going back and starting to come down, and yet they don't get stuck. What is stuck? Stuck would mean, you know, in a perfect world, you'd love when you get back down to, I call last parallel here. I don't know what P6, I don't know what they call it in there. I don't pay attention to that, but I call it last parallel. You'd love to have the club shaft, love to have the club head lined up with the shaft between the handle and the glove and the camera like this. Some people might call, if it looked like this, you might call that tipping, like that. Can you get the club head to tip out? Is a big Malaska term, who I really love and respect his teaching. Stuck would be the opposite, where you might look like this on the way in. And this is really bad news, because often this is going to lead to big open face, tall shaft push block, and a lot of this leading to some serious snap hooks. I think you can get out of this fairly quickly if you are stuck. If you are, maybe you don't video yourself, but just the pattern sounds familiar to you. You block it right or push it straight right. The pushes might have a little bit of slice and then a lot of hooks. You probably play a nice draw on a good day, but then all of a sudden duck hook, pull hook. And then once you got the two-way miss going big, then all bets are off. It's no fun anymore to play. And you go back to the behind the woodshed. Mike Dunaway called it the mumble shed. So you wouldn't yell and scream and curse in front of everybody. You go mumble behind the shed and keep your dignity. You can get unstuck pretty quickly. And let's look at Sergio Garcia first, because he's about as stuck looking as anyone in the history of golf has ever looked. I mean, his handle, he's laid off at the top, then his handle goes down, and he lays it down even more. I mean, he literally looks like this. And most golfers, they'd look like this in the very next frame. And now you're just hopelessly stuck and have to flip that club. But Sergio does something different. It's crazy how when he makes this little subtle move that's really hard to tell on video. If you were doing it, it'd feel very large to you, very obvious. But what is Sergio doing? Well, first of all, Sergio is never going to stand up and lose his posture. You're going to see in this video, he stays way over, more than 30 degrees probably. So that frees up room for the handle of the club to now make an extraordinary horizontal curve around him. In fact, you get to here and you tell me how you could swing out to in from here. Most golfers would swing 15-20 degrees inside out from there. Maybe that's you. Sergio's actually outside in this video and hitting a cut. It's unbelievable. So keeping the posture back is going to free up this space right here. You've got to keep this space free for the arms and the club handle to turn the corner. It doesn't matter how out of position you are. As soon as that boat starts pulling the skier in the correct direction, the skier is just going to whiplash back behind the boat and line up again. And so that's the same thing with Sergio. He might be kind of wandering off into no man's land here, but as soon as he gets here, boy, that handle comes here and here, so tight and such a rapid curve around to the left, because number one, he keeps this back. He keeps the posture. If you're standing up at all, the odds of you fixing being stuck are next to zero. no matter what kind of machinations you do with the arms and the force on the club, trying to do this or throw it this way, you're always going to end up looking stuck if you do stand up. And secondly, if your shoulders turn too flat. So a great way to get stuck would be turning the shoulders too flat, going back, and then turning them under on the way through. No matter what you do from that combination of movement, you are going to be stuck. Block and hook everything. You're going to block balls so far to the right that they'll go off the planet and come back from the left, like pong. So again, that would be left shoulder going high and in front of you this way. Not enough tilt to the shoulders. And then furthermore, you early extend pivot to right field, and the right shoulder really goes down behind. The left shoulder really gets high early. So I would say you've got the double whammy there. The shoulders are too flat going back, and then flattening or shallowing even more going down. There's no combination of movement that will keep you from being stuck once your body and your axis is that off kilter. So you've got to stop playing with all this other stuff with the hands and the arms and all that, and you've got to fix the body. The second thing that Sergio does, and I'm going to show you another golfer, very impressive golfer, woman golfer named Asterisk. What a great name, Asterisk. Before you make fun of the name, this gal, she narrowly missed winning at Augusta by one stroke, but she hit 17 out of 18 greens at Augusta. I mean, how fantastic is that? Wouldn't you like to hit 17 greens? You'll notice in her swing that she turns back a little bit flat. And because of that, it's not a lot, it's subtle, it's not a lot, but because of that, her club swings to the inside, and her arms get a little bit behind her, and the club gets arguably a little bit across the line at the top. But like Sergio, because she turns the boat before she gets to impact, she turns that boat, and that club head or the skier lines right up with the boat. No matter how out of position the skier is, they'll get whipped back in line when the boat turns. Can't help but to follow the boat. It's towing you. So what do they both do? Both Sergio and Asterisk. Asterisk a little flat. She's going to not only increase the hip flexion, the opposite of early extension, it's going to be flexion. But she's going to take this left shoulder and she's going to dig. Sergio does this too. And notice what that does. It effectively is steepening my shoulder turn. So even if I'm a little bit off here, if I can do this, that left shoulder feels a little like your shoulders are going over the top, like you're going to throw your right shoulder over the top. It's like an inside out over the top swing she's making, and it negates, the two negate each other. She comes back out right on the line. So a little bit flat, left shoulder, let me show you from this angle, a little flat, dig that shoulder down and back this way. Right shoulder will feel like it goes high and over from there. Not to be confused with this. They're both staying here, but watch what happens if I do both. I'm going to put myself out of position, too far inside, too flat, shoulders, hips turning too flat. Watch what happens now when I steepen, right back on the plane, completely unstuck, butt back. And now the handle can work its way left, freely around the corner to get that club head to tip outside the shaft. This is a hips and shoulders error to get stuck, not hands and arms error to get stuck. It becomes very difficult to get stuck if your hips and shoulders are on the right axis. I'll give you one last bonus video. One of the greatest, most underappreciated swings in history, I think. Yeah, we know him for his exploits, but his swing was so good through impact. And that's Bobby Jones. Bobby Jones the same way. Big backswing, big knee kick, everything's so big. But then what does he do? He looks like he's too far inside and flat. Halfway back, looks like this. Then he lifts it into position. He does the same thing. His shoulder digs down and back behind him. And that brings that club from the right back to here again. And now he's in business and he can hit it long and straight from there. So, number one, you don't have to have a perfect backswing to have a perfect downswing. And that's really what's important. None of these three golfers are in fact fantastic position halfway back. By today's modern YouTube teaching standards, these are all terrible swings where they want everybody to be here and then drop it in the opposite way. That's their solution to not getting stuck. I don't think that's a good solution. I think you've got to make sure that your hips and shoulders are on the right axis as you come down through the ball. And those are three great examples of how they're all a little out of position halfway back. And then as they start halfway down, that move, both maintaining or increasing hip flexion, and making sure the shoulders are not under this way, but turning back this way more. You can see automatically, try this at home in front of a mirror, get your shoulders this way for a second, just for fun, and you'll see how it's automatic, how the club head is going to drop in front. Now, if you bring it in real shallow like this, look, tip, and now you can come from the inside and still hit a draw. Coming from like this, you can still hit a draw from the inside that way without looking stuck at all. So, keep these points in mind. Go out and try these a little bit and see if you have the pattern of, you know you're stuck, you've had teachers that have told you you're stuck, or your pattern of shots is push, hook, block. Block means generally the ball starts right and goes further right. And it's not a typical slice because it also comes with occasionally a very quick hook. The dispersion is what crushes your scores because you cannot depend on either one of those shots. As soon as you start getting used to the block, you start hooking it. You can't control the club face because the club face is coming in trapped too open. You got to spin the shaft and go severely open to severely closed in a 100th or 200ths of a second time. No one can time that. Not anybody that I've ever seen can time an extreme version of that for longer than 9 holes in a row. Give these ideas a shot. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions or need some clarification, or if you just think I'm awesome. That would be nice too. I'm Steve. Thanks a lot for watching. Head over to my website, hititlonger.com. You'll find lots of great products over there that I highly endorse. If I don't see you in the next video, I'll see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody take good care.